My name is Caitlin.
I am Abe. Jordan Pericles.
My name is Victor.
Okay. And why are you guys here today?
Well, you guys want to go ahead?
Go.
So we.
All right, so
All right,
no, you got it, you got it.
We're a group from Crest. We started junior year, well, seniors. We started last year in February, and the program took a pause, I would say, up until August, and then we came back to improve our project from the summer.
Okay, great. So you guys are here as part of Kids Inventors Day. So did you invent a product, and can you briefly tell my readers a little bit about it? I mean, I know it because I was here, but...
So we created the, over there, I'll grab it real quick.
Okay.
Nice. So this right here is the motivation box, also known as the IMU. So we were asked to create a project that benefited society in some way, shape, or form. And we came up with the motivation box because, you know, kids are, and teens especially, are dealing with suicide, depression, stuff like that, mostly because of their self-image, they're not
Right.
confident in themselves. So we created this little, this little device that it has a mirror, it's an LCD display, and a pin sensor in which when the person looks at them, based on how close they are, how far they are, a message displays, things like they're beautiful.
Positive messages.
Positive messages, just to get them along the way, because of something that small goes a long way. You can be having a really bad day, a really tough day, but if someone just says, hey, I like your shoes, I like your hair, it goes a long way. It really brings up their morale.
Okay. So did each of you guys work on the project, and in what capacity, what role?
Well, this was a project. So this was the project from over the summer. So it was a group. It was even myself and one other person who prototyped it over the summer. And during the fall to winter season, I think most of the winter, I have my teammates Caitlin and Victor here who helped improve the project and the presentation and everything that goes along with the idea and the whole
Right, the whole focus of the project. Okay, so you guys are in high school, right? Did your interest in science and engineering and circuitry, did it start a little sooner, or did it start when you guys came into high school?
In retrospect, when I look about it, I always like technology. When you have a phone, you always like technology, but you don't really think of it as much. You don't really think of pursuing a career. When you think of careers, probably like doctor, lawyer, things like that. So when I got introduced to this program, it opened a whole new world that I never knew existed. You start looking at things in different perspectives, like, oh, now I know what my phone is made of. Now I know what's inside my computer. So it's like, maybe I would like to do this in the future because it's things that I'm familiar with.
Right, and it's more real and accessible
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit about how your family and your friends supported your interest in technology and in starting these projects? Was your family always supportive, or did you guys kind of have to explain to them a little bit about what you're doing in school? Like, just talk a little bit about it.
For myself, my family always wanted me to be. They always had this image that they wanted me to be, and that would be towards the medical field. And I always wanted to adhere to that image. But I felt I had this opportunity. I felt that I had this opportunity, and this was a great way for me to explore my ideas in different regions. So it would be. So I want to go into psychology, and I felt like this project through engineering helps with psychology, just that mental state of mind, that state of mind. So my parents, they weren't also supportive of me coming here and doing and making a project like this. And a lot of kids do have support, and a lot of kids don't. And I would say to the kids who don't have a sort of support from their parents to go ahead and build their own identity. If your parents aren't really by your side and telling you, yeah, you can do it, and you have a dream to uphold. The biggest thing in any sort of relationship, parent, child, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you have, it's to be yourself and to always stay true to yourself. And if there's something that you need to do, that you want to do, that you have to do it.
Just continue to do it.
Continue to do it.
And what about you as a female?
My parents actually wanted me to also pursue in medical fields, but I never really liked that kind of whole blood and stuff. I was never really into it. So I actually have previous knowledge of this because I take robotics in my school, so like I kind of know about it, and I'm really into engineering. So after I came here, I kind of like packed in like what I wanted to be. I actually do want to do science. I want to become a mechanical engineer when I grow up. So yeah.
So you were just continuing no matter
Yeah,
what.
like I didn't really care what my parents thought, and I told them one day, I'm gonna become an engineer, whether or not you like it.
So please just support me.
Yeah. So and then they kind of like got used to it because they saw like how like motivated I was. So yeah.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about this program that they were about? You guys are teaching younger students or sharing the information?
So in the summer, we started around July, and the whole program was about 6 weeks. And every single week we would get a different class of students, and each week was pre-formatted with a certain topic for that week. So whether it was basic circuitry or Tinkercad or programming with Arduino, and it was a very interesting experience because people say that to fully understand something you need to be able to explain it. And it was interesting that, all right, maybe I can conceptualize it, but how do I change it up so that I can give the same ideas to a smaller kid who might not have the same concepts as I do. So it's just a mental game as to how do I make this intangible concept something that a younger kid will understand in their own special way. And I think that they grasped it pretty quick. I think that there were definitely some future engineers in the groups that we taught, and some of them were doing it better than I could. And people come up to us and say, "Oh wow, you guys are so young doing it," and then here they are, like 12, 13, 14 years old already. They already have their head in the games. They already know exactly what they want to do.
Right.
And we had one kid who I can tell automatically in a couple of years he'd be a designer. He was making tanks and stuff that I couldn't even do if I really put my mind to it. So it's just to be able to breed that type of interest at such a young age where pretty much they have no limits set on their mind, that's, I think, the best possible thing you can do for a young child.
So what would be your advice to parents who are like, oh, I don't know if I want to get my child started in this so young. Let's wait and see. I'm not sure if computers will be around, in the future as a good job option.
Actually, to the parents who think that there's this effect called the singularity effect, which will take place around 2040. So it's that the intelligence of robots or technology grows at an exponential rate, and the intelligence of us humans grows at a linear rate. So eventually,
You're going over parents' heads right now, right?
Okay. So imagine a graph, right? I'm not drawing, but imagine a graph, and robots are learning like this, right? There's a whole curve, while we're learning like this. So by 2040, robots will already be self-aware because they're so far ahead. So engineering will be the final job opportunity for us humans.
Okay.
Because the engineers are the ones building the robots.
So instead of a zombie apocalypse,
it would be
To put it in simpler terms, when we bringing it back to Earth, I feel like technology just runs so much of modern society. As you see around here, like nothing doesn't consist of non-computer components. And even in the medical field, right? Because my mom is being a doctor, you see that now they're incorporating so much technology into the medical field. Like now, instead of logging in on a piece of paper, doctors and people in the medical profession, they're being asked to take down notes on a tablet,
Right.
on an iPhone.
Right.
And the thing is, they don't know how to use it. Some of them don't know how to use it. They've never learned.
Right.
But if you have that person to give them that training, to teach them, hey, this is how you use it, this is how you fix it. In case of an emergency, it all becomes more manageable.
Right.
It becomes
Right.
easier.
So it's better for us to bring our children into this field now because it's going to affect all different areas of our lives.
I
Okay.
think also
And
add on with Abe. You want to continue your theory?
With the robot takeover?
Robot
No,
I just wanted to add that, you know, especially with the younger generations, I feel like our age, 17, like the iPhone came out in I believe 2006. So I think we were the last generation to truly experience some type of childhood without any type of technology, without any impact of technology. Like my sister, she's 8 years old. Already at 6, 7, she was watching TV, she was playing video games, whatever. I think that it is impossible unless you live, well, at least in America, it's impossible to get along with everyday life without some type of technological influence. And I think the fact that we don't know what's going on behind the screen, we don't know how it works, why it works, I think
Right.
it's very scary if we're ignorant to those things. And if we understand how it works, why it works, then we can adjust to that, we can add on to that. If we're just sitting here idling by while these things are pretty much controlling our lives and we don't even know how or why they're working, then we're limiting our possibility as to what we can really do. If we can encompass the knowledge that we need to like maneuver technology to our needs, then we can adjust it to whatever we need to do, and we can exponentially increase our powers as human beings.
And save ourselves from the apocalypse. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So to the parents, but to the parents that think that technology or engineering is not a good way for their child to start, just bouncing off of Victor and Abe and Caitlin, is that, you know, technology, as Abe said, is everywhere. So it's in every sort of occupation that there is. So just getting the idea of how to work with circuitry and basic coding could give you a whole range of ideas for
Right.
a whole new career. It doesn't just have to be an engineer.
Okay. All right. That's a good note. Thank you.
Wow.